Hey everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. I am Austin Ward. That is Zach Boren. You know him. He's here. He's here to give us that silver bullet expertise on the defensive line for Defensive Line Week at Lettermen Row. Zach, something about Pickerington, I think, it just brings the best out of some people, doesn't it?
No doubt, man. It's in the water out there, man. I'm telling you, we're just breeding excellence out there in Pickerington, Ohio. I tell you what.
Okay, so Jack Sawyer shows up in spring. Ohio State generally likes to take it a little bit slow with some of these five stars. Hey, it's March. We're not going to award anybody a role. We're not going to talk about snaps. We're going to get through 15 practices. Well, it took about 1 week, and Larry Johnson and Ryan Day and Kerry Combs were like, okay, this guy's right in the mix already.
No doubt. And that's what I love about the D-line. It's D-line week, and, you get those big uglies down front, even if you are a defensive end and, you're making the big bucks, you still got your hand in the dirt, and you're still a dude down there, right? And so that's what I love about having these five-star kids as defensive linemen, because it gets to a point where, guess what? You come in, you put your hand in the dirt and go. It's not like, you're a wide receiver, you need to learn the offense. A quarterback, you need to learn the offense. It's not like you're a linebacker and you got to, so many things with defense. Defensive lineman, guess what? Mano y mano. Jack Sawyer, put your hand in the ground. Thayer Mumford, you're right there. All Big Ten, all American offense tackle, go against him and become a dude. And that's what exactly happened with Jack Sawyer. And that's why I love what they did with him. Finally, after a week of, practice, hey, get a lay of the land. Next, guess what? We're taking the handcuffs off you and you're going.
How long have you been hearing about Jack Sawyer before maybe even his recruitment and, the expectations that come with that when you're a local star, then you're going to Ohio State. And we're heaping a lot of hype and buzz on somebody in a hurry. That's probably been happening to him for a long time though.
Yeah, for sure. I've known Jack for a long time. Family, friends are tied. We're tied together that way. So I've known Jack since, man, he was, fifth, sixth grade, and seen him grow up. I've seen kind of the hype of elevate as he got into high school. He's a great kid. He works hard. He knows what it takes to be successful. The only thing I got against the guy is he's a Pickerington Little Panther instead of a Pickering Central Tiger. Other than that, the kid's got it going on, man. He knows what it's like. The one thing that I think Jack needs to learn, it's every young guy, and especially having a lot of hype, is how do you handle adversity, right? When you get sucker punched in the mouth, how do you respond? And I think that's what you have to deal with as any young player going into a football program like Ohio State, but even more so when you're a five-star kid and you've got all this hype and you're one of the top players in the country. How do you respond when someone throws an uppercut right on your chin? You start tasting blood. What are you going to do? Are you going to cower, or are you going to start throwing haymakers back? And I think that's the exciting thing that's what I want to see with Jack Sawyer this year.
Yeah, he made an impression, really. You could see it with the coaching staff through those 15 practices in March and April, getting stronger in the summer. Training camp is coming. We'll see what kind of role he can play. We've just got a couple plays from the spring game. We have some clips, but not that many to break down. But Zach's going to get into it and see what he likes from Jack Sawyer at the end of that first early enrollee spring. We're going to get into it right now. Let's roll tape. All right, Zach, this is just a spring game. It's not, sometimes you might be facing a walk-on out there. It's not always going to be Thayer Mumford for Jack Sawyer. We know that it's hard to take some of the stuff out of it. Plus, Jack Sawyer wasn't allowed to take guys to the ground. But if you make 2, 3, 4 sacks in a spring game, that's going to create that hype, that buzz that we've been talking about with him for a long time and validate it. So what did you think about April and plays like this?
No doubt. If you're getting that many sacks in a spring game, you're doing something right, and what you'll see in both of these clips, but still what I love is obviously Jack Sawyer is a taller, athletic dude. Everyone knows how athletic he is, great basketball player. So everyone thinks he's going to beat people with speed, beat people with hand placement, his lengthiness, but right here, you can see he shows speed and then throws his right arm right in the sternum right there and freaking gets a great bull rush left hand underneath the armpit. That's just a great get off, right? Granted, from an offense tackle standpoint, you're not going against Thayer Mumford right here, but still, to be able to show speed, to be able to have the strength to still push back on the bull rush after showing that speed rush uphill or up the field, and then bring a great left hand underneath to create that separation, get off. It's just he is way beyond his years when it comes to hand placement, when it comes to figuring out different rushes on the fly. And I think that just goes to show you how great of a teacher Larry Johnson really is.
There was a lot of talk before he got on campus, Zach, about how he'd come to all these camps and, for the last 2-3 years and get some instruction from Larry Johnson while he was still in high school. And he must have been doing something with that, because you watch this get off here. We've been talking about that with Ohio State defensive ends under Larry Johnson for so long. Like, this looks like it was straight off the teaching tape already. And again, it's just a spring game. I'm not trying to make a much bigger deal out of it, but just watching the technique looks like you're watching, Nick Bosa or Chase Young. He's doing the things that he's supposed to do.
I completely agree. How many times in BuckIQ during the season we talk about a defensive end's get off, right? I mean, the get offs are just unbelievable. I say, and that's what Larry Johnson's so good at teaching. You look at this, and even from the other defensive linemen here, Jack Sawyer's beating them by 3 yards. I mean, you stop this right here, and he's already, 3.5 yards in the backfield, and the quarterback's literally just receiving the ball. That shows you the speed that Jack Sawyer has. That shows you the athleticism that Jack Sawyer has. I mean, this is just great teaching by Larry Johnson. And obviously, it's Jack Sawyer being a good student. You have to be a good student if you're getting that teaching. So, Jack, listen, that's a phenomenal play. Obviously, we're not playing Oregon right now. We're not playing some of the big boys, but this is a great play to build on.
Well, and if you're going to play against Oregon, you're going to have to do some of that work as an early enrollee in March and April. He did that here. I think this is another example for you of just getting in there and that power on display. Again, this is not Nicholas Petit-Frere on that side or Thayer Munford, but you have to go get those reps against somebody.
No doubt. And here's what you see here. The other one, you saw him show speed and come with some power. Here, it's kind of like this is the young person in him a little bit. He's not really sure what to do. Hey, I'm in a 2 point. I do a little shimmy shake. I'm not really sure. But then you see him go into his power phase. And you see the extension. Look at the extension. His hands are inside. He's pushing back. He's still playing with his eyes. He has a feel for where the quarterback is. Every great defensive end has a feel for where that quarterback is in the pocket. And Jack Sawyer right here knows exactly where that quarterback is. You can see him get underneath the offense tackle's pads and use that power and extension to get back to the quarterback. I mean, this shows great strength. This is not some walk-on dude. This is a Ohio State scholarship guy that is highly recruited playing offense tackle. So for Jack Sawyer to get in here, show the strength, and get back to the quarterback, it's phenomenal. The only thing that I'm going to say, and we talked about this on his last play, you see him have bull rush here twice, right? You saw him show speed, but go back to the bull rush. You saw him right here give a little shimmy shake, not really sure what to do, go to bull rush. At some point, him being a young player, when they scout him, they're going to know, hey, he's going to a bull rush. And so those great offensive tackles in the Big Ten are just going to sit on him. So he's got to be able to show something a little bit different. Show a little inside to outside move. Show outside to inside. Show something other than, hey, I got speed or a little shimmy into a bull rush. You got to get a little bit of a different move, so to speak, something more in your arsenal. But that's going to come with reps. That's going to come with practice. So for Jack Sawyer, this is still phenomenal. Show this strength coming in here, especially as a true freshman on an offense tackle, showing his strength, getting to the quarterback. There's very bright things in Jack Sawyer's future.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to have a lot more than 2 plays from a spring game to break down for Jack Sawyer soon. That's what we got now, so we're going to make the best of it with Zach Boren to get rolling again with some defensive breakdowns, defensive BuckIQ. Nobody better to do it with, and I've missed having Zach Boren on. Can't wait for the season to start.
I miss you too, man. Can't wait.
All right, he's Zach Boren. I'm Austin Ward. This has been Lettermen Row BuckIQ. That was a breakdown on Jack Sawyer. Stay with us for full coverage of the Buckeyes all year at lettermenrow.com. For Zach, I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time.